Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Popo here, bringing you guys a new video. And today I'm going to show you one of the best resources you can use to get better at VGC. Let's go. Welcome, everybody, and today I'm going to be showing you guys this fantastic resource called PASRS. This is a Google Sheets created by Dad. I hope I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, I do apologize. But they are an amazing person for making this. This is a really, really cool resource. And yeah, I want to show you guys how it works and what you can really do and how you can use this to improve yourself if you do play on Showdown. Because this is able to take all your information from Showdown and break it down for you so you can really analyze your games and your matches and your team. And yeah, it's a really, really great source. So what you're going to do first is you're going to go right here, which the link to this is going to be down below. So if you do want to try this, you just click that link and then you'll do exactly what I'm doing here. So you're going to go here and you're going to go right to make a copy, and you're just going to click that, and it's going to take a second. This is a pretty slow process as it has to copy all this information over. There's a ton of stuff that has to go over. So you're going to see this page here, and I know my camera's blocking it, but it says allow access right behind my head, and you're just going to want to go ahead and click that. So when you click that, it's going to allow the external resources to actually activate, and you'll see this start to populate over here. And this is going to just take a second because there's a lot of information that this needs to load using Showdown, replays, all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, there's the team now. So we are ready to go. What you're going to do is the first thing you're going to do is you're going to change this, okay? You're going to change this, and you're going to go into the name that you've been using for your Showdown, which I'm trying to copy here, but I'm not having any success. Hold on 1 second, because it was a very strange name. Here, I'll just bring it up here because I'm gonna need this anyways. So yeah, so my name was what's this team? Okay, let's go back over here, and you can go and paste it, and it's not pasting because I don't know why. It didn't copy properly, I guess. There you go. So you're going to paste it. And now what you want to do is do your Poke Paste. Here's the Poke Paste I am using. I just made a fun team that I can do some games with and have a good time. This will also be linked down below if you want to try out this team. It's not great, but it's pretty fun to play. If you like Hydrapple. It was just trying to do some fun stuff with Hydrapple. But yeah, there we go. So it's going to populate the team there. Okay, now the next and coolest thing that this thing does is you go to replay entries. Now you're going to want to delete these because these are just example ones that Dad uses to just show you kind of how it works. So just go ahead and delete this, and that will depopulate those. And you're just going to put your replays in here. So I'm just going to put in a couple at the moment. Let me just get these. I'm just gonna put in we'll put in 2, and then I'll go AFK and put in the rest. So if we give this a second, it will just go in and populate all the information. It'll take the information from this replay, including your Pokemon, your opponent's Pokemon, what moves you used, everything. So you can see here that these are the teams I faced. You can put some notes. I would suggest every single game you play. What happens on Showdown a lot is a lot of people just go play, they play their game, they exit out, and then they click play again, and they just keep going, and it's kind of mindless. But what this allows you to do is you put your replay here, and then you take notes on that game, whether they're positive, negative, what you did wrong, where you think you could have improved on that game. Rewatch the replay, maybe play, do this for 3 games, take notes, then go back and watch the replay and take some more notes. This way you're slowing down your gameplay, and then you're making better and more optimal decisions, as well as learning off of all this information. So what can you do with this information, right? So if we go game by game here, this will kind of show you what Pokemon you brought, what Pokemon your opponent brought, who terrestrialized, and it shows your opponent's elo as well as your elo. So you can kind of see how that is going for you. It also tells you who you face, which doesn't matter. You can click this and go to the replay. So really simple there. And this can go down to 500. So you can put in 500 entries of replays before you need a new list. Now you can go match by match. I think this is just for best of 3, though I haven't tested this. Next is usage stats. So this is going to show you who you've been bringing to the game, what your most commons are, and all that kind of information, what your lead percentages are, how well you do with those leads. And then matchup is going to be against specific Pokemon. So you can only put Pokemon that you actually have faced. And then it'll start giving you some information for those Pokemon. That first one, you kind of just have to put in something and then it'll just repopulate it. I don't know why it does that. It's kind of weird. But as you can see, this starts to populate. When you get more games, so will these. You'll see these going in, and we'll check about that later when I put in the other stuff. Next is going to be moves and usage of those moves, so you can really get an idea of how your Pokemon is performing and if it's actually doing the thing that you want. Because sometimes you're playing so many games, you start to forget if you're using that Pokemon effectively. This really tells you. If you have a Pokemon like this Malamar who's very balanced, like clicking all the moves, then you know you have a Pokemon where all the moves are important. But if you have a Pokemon where it's not clicking one of its moves at all, maybe you just get rid of that move. So yeah, that gives a look at that. And then the EV training guide, if you want to make that team in-game, this just gives you a breakdown and understanding of how to actually do that. So really cool resource there if you are newer to EV training. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away real quick and we are going to input all the rest of this and we're going to see how this really works. All right, welcome back. And as you can see, I added all of my replays here at 26 replays saved. I did lose more games than this, but when you go click out of the X on the top, it has that little check mark, and yeah, I always forget to unclick that when I forfeit, so I lose a lot of those replays. But make sure you're saving your losses. It's very, very important. But you're going to put all this stuff here, and as you can see, it'll show you all the teams. You got all the replays, access to all that, and now we can go to the game by game, and you'll see it's a little bit different as we see a lot more information here. We can see every Pokemon that was brought, every Terra, every single little bit of information is all here and readily available for every single person to use. And you can kind of start seeing patterns, or you could just kind of look at this just to get an idea of where you are. And yeah, it's just really, really cool. Yeah, there was one of those around. Match by match, still not going to show anything, but here we can go and we can start seeing a little bit more information about these usage stats. We can see like we won 15 out of 16 games that we brought Clefairy, and then we can see that like when we lead Clefairy plus Typhlosion, we win 100% of the game. So maybe you start leading that a little bit more. Maybe it starts to make a little bit more sense. We never led Hydrapple, and therefore we never lost with it. So maybe it's like, okay, we never lead Hydrapple, or maybe we should start leading Hydrapple. We lead Typhlosion quite a bit and Malamar quite a bit. These two are really, really good together, so it makes sense. And you can kind of do a lot going that way too. So there's just a lot of stuff that you can do with this information, including just improving your game. So now if we go to the match stats here, we can start to see that there's a little bit more. Like if we put Basiligian here and Annihilate here, we can start to see the best matchups. Like we always beat like these Pokemon here, right? We have never lost against these Pokemon. Our worst matchups, you could see we're really bad against Incineroar. Highest attendance, like we see a lot of Whimsicots, though they don't really do much against us. And lowest attendance, these are the Pokemon that aren't really being brought, though they are part of your opponent's team. I'm going to go over some stuff that I would like to be added to this. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. And here's the stat breakdown. Now this is going to show you how many of each move you have used over that time. So you can see we've used 13 eruptions. That's 48% of the attacks that we've used with Typhlosion have been that eruption. 31 Draco Meteor. So you can start to see the breakdowns of what moves you are and are not using on those Pokemon. As you can see, Rillaboom is very balanced. This means all of Rillaboom's moves are very effective, and they're doing a lot, and they're really helping us out. Flamigo, we don't really click Protect or Taunt too much, but we click Close Combat a lot and Brave Bird in certain situations. That makes a lot of sense. That's what we want to be seeing. Clefairy is often going to be Follow Me, but you can see we do a couple of the other ones. That's exactly what we want to be seeing. So you can tell just by this that every move on all my Pokemon are very, very important in different situations. We don't click Earth Power a lot, but when we do, it's very important. So that's a good move to have. So you can kind of just see the breakdown of all that stuff, and it starts to make sense. The more games you play, the more data you have, and the more information you'll have into your team. So this just gives you a visual representation of the things you should be paying attention to when you're playing the games anyways. But with this, now you are able to just see everything, the nitty gritties and everything like that, where you're like, okay, I had another team that we did this with on stream, and we weren't using the Dragonite that was on the team at all. So we changed out the Dragonite and just made the team better. So yeah, really great resource this is. This is a really, really great resource. Now, a couple of things I would like to see added. You can put multiple showdown names, which is good because I do like to use multiple accounts. I don't like to just spam on the one account. I would like to be able to update PokePaste without really breaking this portion of it, because then it's like the Pokemon doesn't exist anymore, so this kind of breaks and stuff. So like being able to update your PokePaste without breaking everything else could really be beneficial. And for that, they would have to add like more boxes here, and maybe you can have like 8 or, you know, something like that, or whatever it might be. So that way you can make changes and differentiate between them. They'd also have to add that to this if you do add in new Pokemon. So you could add like PokePaste 2, PokePaste 3. Maybe even on this, it just adds another box or another box. So you still have this, but you can continue it, and you can kind of compare where you were before. So that's something I would really like to see be used. Another one is very similar to this, the best lead pairs, but the opposite. So how many times your opponent is leading certain Pokemon into you. It's nice to see how many times they're bringing that specific Pokemon, but maybe seeing, you know, Whimsicott is led this many times out of this many times it was brought to this many games kind of thing. Could be really beneficial too. Seeing if people are trying to go for that Whimsicott often, then maybe you counter it more often. Because this could be 6 Whimsicotts that were brought in the back. We don't know from this information. So when you're going back and looking at the games, now you have to go through game by game to see if the Whimsicotts were what was being led. As you can see, Whimsicott is usually led, so it's kind of a bad example. But yeah, like you have to go back through this just to confirm that that's actually what was happening. And that could be kind of meh, you know. It would just be better if we could just see a box here with that information. Other than that, I think it's fine. I think this is good too. I want to add this is if you're team building with people, you can put multiple names. So if you all are using the exact same team, you can put these boxes down, and then you can put the replays in there. Maybe it would be good if there was like 2 tabs of replays. I get it. It's really a lot of information, especially 500. I get it. That's fair. It could go on the same kind of usage, like I was saying, where you get another box of these that are counting the moves of the other PokePaste. So you have 2 PokePaste, even if it's the same one. 2 saves, and then you can compare the stats and the additive stats or whatever. There could be some cool things like that. I don't know. I'm not smart enough for any of this stuff, but I definitely would like, my number one feature would be add updated PokePaste without breaking everything else or having to make a whole new one of these, because it can be kind of so yeah, but anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did find this site helpful and useful, definitely go follow Dad over on Twitter. Yeah, on Twitter. The link will be down below, so make sure you go drop a follow over there and thank them for this amazing resource. I'm going to be doing an updated video for resources to use, so look out for that kind of soon. I did like top 5 or whatever it was before. I'm going to do another 5 because there's so many more resources that are super, super useful. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you guys thumbs it up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.